Hello. In this video we will discuss peripheral input, such as video, CV, and MIDI, as well as briefly introduce the mapping editor. We will start with video input. Plug in a web camera or other USB video source. Most web cameras are supported, but not all are. It is preferable, but not necessary, to have the device plugged in before starting the synth. Navigate to the Video tab of the I/O configuration page. Your video source should be visible in the live preview in the upper left. If it is not, your camera is likely not supported at this time. Please note that unplugging a live video source while the synth is running is very bad and will probably cause the synthesizer to have an aneurysm and it might explode a bunch. Most patches do not natively support video input. However, the synthesizer has a feature known as auto mapping, which randomly integrates a video source into patches, if one is available. It is on by default. Navigate to the Play UI and load a patch. You should see your video source integrated into the live patch. Next, we will cover CV input, which works similarly to video input. First, plug your CV device into a jack on the back panel. The device takes 0 to 10 volt non-polar input, so you may need an external scaling and translating module for full compatibility. Next, navigate to the CV tab of the I/O configuration page. The jack that your device has been plugged into should be highlighted, and you should see an active meter with your CV signal beside it. If not, then something is wrong and you should check all of the things. Similarly to video, most patches do not natively support CV input. However, the synthesizer's auto mapping feature can randomly integrate CV signals into patches. The different jacks integrate in different ways by default. Or you can use Wavy Boy, the 3D oscilloscope instrument, which is designed for CV and other waveform visualization. MIDI input and control is supported over USB or 5-pin, but must be configured manually. First, plug in your MIDI device and navigate to the MIDI tab of the I/O configuration page. If you send a MIDI signal from your device, the message should be displayed in the window. We will now briefly visit the mapping editor, which allows us to explicitly configure how the synthesizer responds to external control signals. This is a complex and powerful and sexy part of the synth, and it will be explored in detail in a future video. Tap on MIDI I/O to see the list of MIDI assignments, which is currently empty. Tap New to create a new mapping. A mapping connects signals, such as MIDI messages, CV voltages, button presses, and knob rotations to actions. Actions can set parameter values, toggle LFOs, load patches, and many other sexy things. Tap Signal, which will pop up a collection of the supported signals. Also, the Learn command appears in the command bar. This will make the synth listen for the next available signal. Tap it, and then send a signal with your MIDI device. You will see that the signal and channel are now populated in the UI. Next, tap Action to select how the synthesizer will respond to this signal. We will assume that you have sent a MIDI CC value, and we will select Set Value as the mapping's action. Next, we have to choose which parameter whose value will be set. Tap Par and then select Width in the parameter selector. The bottom half of the window will now be populated with default settings for the action. Tap Save to save the action. Your MIDI CC control should now change the value of the selected parameter. Note that mappings can be saved globally, in which case they are available everywhere, or they can be saved to a specific patch, in which case they are available only when that patch is live. Note also that mappings are not the only way of integrating with external signals. Several individual modules on the device interface directly with and render CV, video, and audio signals. Thank you for coming to my video. My therapist says I should make more friends. Stay tuned for the next video in which we discuss network access and system updates.